Hello everyone, it's Becky here from Ivy's Corner. I'm here once again to give you a little mini monotangle lesson, which I'm going to run through one of my favourite tangles for you. In this lesson I'm going to draw, it is really one of my favourite tangles and I find myself reaching for it all the time. I think in Zentangle speak you might call it a comfort tangle, one that you're really familiar with and you just really like to use whenever you can't think of anything else. So I love this one. I'm going to draw a little, it's called Flux, I should say. I'm going to draw Flux for you today. I'm going to draw Rick's version of Flux. Now, there's a couple of different versions of Flux, Maria's version and Rick's version, but in this one, this is Rick's version. I'm going to start off by drawing a little string around my tile. It's going to be just a random sort of curvy line string, like so. And to draw Flux, Flux is essentially a really nice tangle that's kind of like a petals or little leaves, and you can kind of add little embellishments, but it fits really nicely into whatever space that you allow it to have, or it can grow along a string line, which is what I'm going to show you today. And I'm going to grab my pen and we're going to get started. So I'm going to begin on this point here of my string line, and I'm going to just draw a line that curves round and then comes back to meet the beginning here. So this is like a teardrop shape almost. And I'm going to just add a little dash and 2 dots. And that's the way I like to draw Flux, but there's lots of different ways you can do. You could do just dots, you could just do a line. You can basically play with it and see what you prefer. I'll do another version in my next one. So I'm going to then begin with this first part that we did of our Flux and then grow the next one the other direction off of there. So maybe just a line in this one. I'm going to continue to do this, but following my string line. So there's just one dot. You can do whatever you like really, but they can grow in any way that you would like to grow them really. I'm going to come round here. And you see how you can kind of adapt them to fit whatever space you have available to you. I'm going to make this one jump off here a little more, but I really like it because it's slightly organic and it's quite delicate, but it can be really, effective in filling spaces and just adding something lovely to a tile, because it's sort of floral but not floral, if you see what I mean. It's flowy, but it's not, it's got a kind of a bit of a life of its own. And I do really like the way it looks. I just think even with this little string that I've drawn here, it just looks quite effective. And you could use it as almost a texture to fill up a whole space. In fact, I might just fill this whole space with a few more. Now, something that you can do if you're filling space with Flux is you find that you have these little gaps. I'm disappearing a little bit. You find that you have these small gaps that you don't necessarily think you could fit another petal in there. You can just pop in a little orb like so. And actually sometimes Flux looks quite nice with just little orbs dotted around here and there. But there's lots of opportunities with it, and it's a fun one to learn and to practice and just to kind of revisit time and again. I think I'm going to leave it there, just with a couple more orbs. Now when it comes to shading Flux, you can pick up your pencil, and really it can be quite as simple as just adding a little pencil line down the centre. Like so. And depending on the size of your petals, you also could maybe consider adding a little bit of sort of rounding to it almost. I'll show you. Here's my tortillon. I'm going to just soften these lines I've placed with my tortillon. Just softening this little bit of graphite that we've placed. I'm just not really worrying about my string lines. They're there, but I'm not too worried about being able to see them. With the residual graphite on the end of your tortillon, you can just add a little bit of rounding here and there. But obviously, as ever with shading in Zentangle, you don't want to, you need to leave some highlights. So you don't want to cover everything in shade. But there you go, that is Flux, a real favourite of mine. Really pretty little tangle and a really nice one to add in any gaps that you have, or just even as a standalone tangle. I think it looks really lovely. I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a little like and subscribe to my channel for more videos just the same that will come every now and then when I talk through different tangles. If there's any more that you'd like to see, please pop a comment below and I will see it and maybe pop it on the list to draw next for you. Thank you so much for following along, and I'll see you next time.